Welcome back to LimQ Plus, everyone. On this channel, I'm 100%ing Breath of the Wild by a bit every day until Tears of the Kingdom comes out. Today, that's in 157 days. While I do that, today I want to talk about weather in Breath of the Wild and how weather could change in Tears of the Kingdom. As you can tell, kind of a random topic, but the reason I thought about it especially is because in my real life, it's actually been getting a lot colder. It's December here. I might get shot by bombers in a second here. Okay, at least I warned you. It's been getting a lot colder out here, and it's been raining a lot, and it's been annoying me a lot. I usually go to the gym in the mornings to exercise, and when it's raining, it's just even less fun. I mean, gym is alright. It's good to get moving sometimes, but walking there and then also in rain is just not fun. But speaking of rain, obviously rain is a pretty controversial topic when it comes to Breath of the Wild. I want to kind of recap the weathers that we have in this game and talk a little bit about them, and then maybe add some weather effects that Tears of the Kingdom could bring into the game. Because I feel like right now, as much as weather makes this world feel more alive, most of the weather effects in this game are a nuisance, and that's intentional, right? Weather in this game is meant to make exploration for you a little bit harder, so that you have to prepare more accurately to make it into a new area. So we obviously have the cold weather. I think that's usually the weather that most people will encounter first, because there's a pretty big cold area up at the Great Plateau. It makes sense that that weather effect is a thing. Link is cold, there's snow everywhere, he would be freezing if we don't take care of it. There's obviously many ways to take care of it. You can have a flaming weapon equipped on your back, you can have a potion or a food meal effect that warms you up, or you can simply have armor, like I have here, that warms you up. Then quite the opposite, mostly on Death Mountain, we have Flame Guard. On Death Mountain, it's so hot that Link catches on fire. I think the first time a lot of us, at least me, went to Death Mountain, we were scared. We couldn't actually go. That weather effect, like cold weather, was kind of preventable. Like even if you didn't have the right resources to fight against the cold, you could at least constantly stuff Link with food, because you only lose health every once in a while. Like you lose half a heart every like 10 seconds or so. So it was actually that big of a deal. But heat on Death Mountain, if you didn't have tons of food, which most people casually don't have, or at least they don't want to waste it, you just simply can't go there. I personally ended up finding that stable where they sell the fireproof elixirs to then eventually make my way up there and actually get the flameproof armor. And I'm sure a lot of you still forced your way up there anyway, even though you were on fire. But I think it's a pretty cool mechanic. I really don't like how the heat gear looks in this game. It doesn't look very flattering, but that's a cool mechanic. A weather that actually stops you from progressing makes an area seemingly more interesting to me. That's at least, as soon as I realized, oh wait, the game doesn't want me to get here, I wanted to get there. I wanted to find a way to get there because it was like, oh wow, there must be something really cool up here. I'm probably going to play this minigame real quick. We gotta activate the shrine anyway. Now, that's heat, well, that's flaming heat and cold out of the way. Obviously, there's different levels to cold and fire protection that you need. I don't really have to get into those. But there's also heat in the Gerudo Desert. And honestly, I really didn't have a big issue with that. The heat in the Gerudo Desert is essentially acts the same as cold, right? Like, you're a little bit too warm and Link takes damage. And there's some gear and food that prevents you from taking that damage. But I feel like I never actively remember making a heat resistance potion. I'm not sure if I'm the only one. I've usually, by the time you get into the Gerudo Desert, well, at least by the time that I went to the Gerudo Desert, oh, also there was a way too fast wind bomb, so I couldn't turn around. My plan here was to wind bomb back and then wind bomb up so that I could get all of the rupees that are on top of the mountain here. But actually, I should have some Revali's Gale up, no? Yeah, I can just do it a simple strategy instead. But yeah, basically, I don't remember ever going out of my way to protect myself from simple heat in the Gerudo Desert. By the time I went there, I was down to just lose the health. It really was kind of like the most forgettable weather effect of them all. I'm not counting cloudy and sandstorm weather effects because, well, sandstorm weather effects, all they do is basically they make your map, you can't look at your map, right? And you can't teleport away, which is pretty annoying if you don't know where you're going. But nowadays, since I'm speedrunning the game, I always basically know where I am, so this weather basically has no effect on me. That being said, there's one more weather, well, technically two forms of one weather that we all hate. Apparently this was my last Revali's Gale. Oh man, and I don't even have any stamina food. I'm so not prepared. I didn't even check this. Okay, looks like we'll actually have to go for the wind bomb. Checking in which direction I have to wind bomb here, kind of like a little bit to the left of here. Okay. That should help a little bit. Right, I still have to focus on this minigame at the same time. But this minigame is all about climbing, which is a perfect segue to the next weather. And probably the most hated weather overall in this game, which is rain. And then even worse, thunderstorms. Thunderstorms is just a worse version of rain later on. They have all of the annoyance of rain, but you also can't use metal equipment. They're just the ultimate annoying weather. So I'm pretty sure there's a gold rupee here somewhere. I remember this from my all minigame speedrun, but we're not gonna go for it right now. Alright, we're gonna slowly climb up here because I don't even think I have any stamina food. I'm really badly prepared in this file compared to when I usually play speedruns. But yeah, imagine it would be raining here. Raining in Breath of the Wild is incredibly frustrating. And the main reason it's so frustrating is because there is nothing you can do to prevent it. There's something to prevent yourself from taking flame damage, heat damage, cold damage, but there is nothing that prevents you from slipping down when climbing in rain. And that's just so incredibly frustrating. And I really hope Tears of the Kingdom does something to help us with this. Because there had to be something, right? It's just, like, it's so annoying to try to explore when it's raining. And the worst part is that it never gets better, right? In any other case with the flame gear, it actually gets better. You get that armor, you get those potions, and suddenly you can explore to your heart's content. But yeah, it's really frustrating. Thunderstorms, in my opinion, even worse. They also restrict your gear, basically. I mean, unless you have the Thunder Helm, which is not really everyone's favorite outfit. I really hope that Tears of the Kingdom, when they bring back rain, which obviously they will. I mean, the game is literally called Tears of the Kingdom. There's got to be some form of falling water / rain, right? Please give us some magnetic, some like special gloves that we can use to climb in the rain without having the downside, no matter what it takes to get them. I don't know if they ever, like, I know I have this creating a champion book. I don't know if they ever talked about the fact how much people ended up hating rain and what their decision making was to not give players any ways to, well, not prevent it, but to counteract the rain and thunderstorm effects. Sometimes you can use thunderstorms to your advantage with like Metal Gear. The combat players of this game have shown that many times, but still, I can't believe it. That there's nothing to this day that prevents the negative rain effects. Not even an upgraded armor buff, nothing. Not even the climber's gear. I mean, you guys have probably been frustrated about this yourself before. But I thought a couple other weather effects that I wish this game had, and maybe Tears of the Kingdom will have. I feel like maybe Tears of the Kingdom will have some sort of Malice-based weather effect, with Malice literally coming out of the Death Mountain. I really thought, I know there is technically some eruptions happening at Death Mountain when you get close there, where these rocks are falling down, they're just spawning out of the air. But I feel like they could have really done a little bit more with the volcano and potential eruption. I think that could have been quite cool. Another obvious one, in my opinion, would have been hail. Maybe, again, mostly annoying, but there could have maybe been some cool uses of it. They could have maybe made it so that when it hails, water on the ground also freezes, making it so that areas that are usually, I mean, in Hebra, there's not a lot of water, there's usually hot springs, if anything, but combining those mechanics, basically, that only in specific weather some areas are reachable. So let's say only when it's hailing, some frozen water actually fully freezes and it allows you to get to locations that you haven't been able to before. I guess you have the Cryonis rune, which kind of makes that obsolete, but I think that could have been an interesting one. But I do really think there's a chance that we get something in the shape of tornadoes or like strong winds. While there is strong wind in this game, all it does is it basically affects the overworld a little bit. And especially actually, if anything, I feel like the thing that affects wind the most is speedruns. Not even kidding. Just because of how much harder it becomes to perform wind bombs, which sounds weird. Wind bombs are harder to do in the wind, but that's actually how it is. We've already seen this big windstorm that's seemingly taking place at on the cover art of Tears of the Kingdom. It's on the confirmed cover art of the game, so maybe there is gonna be something like that. How is that gonna work together with the gameplay? Maybe it's gonna allow you to glide further. There is technically, again, this game has like something like that when there's dragons, like we saw on the left just there, Dinral. There's these constant updrafts. Technically, when you attack on the Vine Beast via Redania, there's a super strong wind blowing you away from Death Mountain, so that you can't board via Redania early. But there haven't been any real like tornado scenarios, and Tears of the Kingdom might actually make that real, judging by the cover art. Again, it might be that this tornado is only stationary and you have to find a way through the tornado to reach whatever is hiding behind it, but maybe it's actually going to be moving around the world, and whatever hides in the tornado is moving with it, affecting the areas it's traveling through. That would be just my little rant on weather and what there could still be possible in Tears of the Kingdom. My number one wish is just please give us something to prevent rain from completely messing us up. I would appreciate it, and I bet many other players would too. Sorry, Korok. We are on 18.69%. Nice. I have a stream to do now, so thank you so much for watching. I will see you again tomorrow on LimQ Plus when we only have 156 days left. Game Awards are also on Thursday, and some people are starting to spit rumors again about Tears of the Kingdom potentially being there. I'm going to watch them on stream, but I'm definitely not thinking we'll see any Tears of the Kingdom there. That being said, again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.